Hello everyone, and here we are back on this every week. We're coming back to you every 7 days. You're going to see our mug faces, and we're going to be looking at you all. And already we've got a fair few people here. We've got Azar, and we've got Hegang Azar, and we've got Barry and Lauren, Riss. How's everyone going so far? Bit of a wet weekend here in Cleveland, and obviously. You said, Brett, that you don't get rain near your area. Is that right?
Well, first of all, hello, everybody. I hope everybody's well and so forth. Yeah, look, when you told me you got rain down there, and I said, well, send it this way.
Yeah, exactly. Like just a lot of people from overseas and not from around Australia don't understand the distances that we've got here in Australia, and the weather conditions change, and we're neighbours. it's a bit hard to sort of like grasp and for people to understand. Hey, going Sharon. Sharon is here as well, and Bill has come in as well. So
hello.
Cool.
Yeah, really
cool,
good,
guys. Great to see everyone here. Guys, what happened to all your CCs? We didn't get any CCs, so we're not going to be doing any of this.
We only had Sharon, but that was about it. So unfortunately,
yeah, we're going to hold that over for next week, I think. Now, Brett. So no big deal. We've got lots of stories and a lot of information for you guys. That's for sure.
Maybe everybody thought that the CC was a bit too harsh.
Is everyone receiving is the video running all right there, Brett?
Yeah, on my end it is.
I'm just getting a silly error message here from YouTube, receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. So I don't know what else I can give them.
Well,
maybe it's buffering.
Play it out, see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just wait another minute or so before we hit the play button, and just
I'll just have to say congratulations, Riss, once again every week just before we go live. She gets another front page on Australian photography Facebook page.
Yeah, you can tell me what she wants. I mean, she's got shares in it or something,
Yeah, I saw the comment that you wrote to her, like, are you sure you're not the admin of that group, whatever?
No, not really. I'm just, I'm just querying it. Like how many has that been now, Riss? Like 100, 200? Or a wish mark says Riss. So. That's great. Congrats, says Sharon, to Riss.
Yep. 9 now.
Bloody 9. Holy noodles. Well, you're doing really well. You're doing better than what we are. We've only got... we can't put our bloody pictures up on banners anywhere. They'll tear it all down. As soon as it goes up, they'll rip it all down again. So... okay, I'm just going to start the intro video with not much more to say. There's a lot of stuff happening in the show tonight, so stay tuned. Even Brett is going to be doing a Lightroom. Is that Brett? Right, Brett? You're going to be doing a Lightroom.
Yes.
Something interesting coming up.
Some new features. If anybody wasn't quite sure about what they are and what they can do. So yeah.
Cool. Sounds really good. So stay tuned, guys, and here comes the intro. So, hello everyone, and how's everyone going on a Sunday evening? It's very somber, isn't it? Very quiet. I was actually surprised, Brett. Well, Brett, you might as well say hello to everyone as well.
Hello again. We're back.
We're back. Okay, so everyone here again, saying hello to Bill, Riss, Azza, and Lauren, Barry. Who else have we got? We're getting a fair few people that actually keep on coming back every week to wanting to know what's going on here in Little Town. Sharon, how are you, Sharon? I hope I'm not leaving anyone out. Oh, looks good. Very slow Sunday. Got woken up. Okay, so what is Lauren saying? A very slow Sunday. Got woken up super early for my furry alarm clock, so very tired. Well, you know, you don't set your alarm clock on a Sunday, do you? Holy moly.
Cats don't have alarm clock. They'll just wake you up anytime they want.
Well, maybe you need a pony. You know, like if you had a pony, you'd be feeding it at that time. You know, so.
Yeah.
And Riss had his friend staying over for some photography and to watch car racing. Oh, cool. So everyone has been sort of like staying at home more or less, Brett?
Well,
by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm staying home for the weekend. Doing a bit of paving again.
Yeah.
Paving just does not stop.
Well, if you don't do the job, no one else is going to do it, right?
That's correct. But I am planning during the week to go out and take my son and take the camera out and go some bushwalking. Just haven't really decided yet where I'm going.
Yeah, and if I'm still here because I've got I need to go down to New South Wales sometime either this week or the following week. So I'm gonna enter the dark zone and cross borders for some emergency down there. So I need to get down there. But if I'm still here, Brett, you know, let me know.
Yep, yeah, and that might mean that you're going down there for a week, are you? That may mean
we might not actually be doing a show next Sunday, so that's what it means. Okay, now I'm going to put Brett straight onto the actual onto the totem pole here, and we're probably just going to go straight into an edit. Is that right, there, Brett?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
And what is Sharon saying? John went down 2 weeks ago. Just drop. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do a screen share with Brett.
All right.
Here.
Done.
Switch over. And
there we go.
Okay. So there you go, Brett. There you go. At least we're not having the big glitches as what we had last time. That was just a disaster. Everyone was in stitches, I heard. So everyone was laughing on our behalf. Yeah. That's about right, guys. Thanks a lot. We really need your support. Okay, Brett, so what have we got here?
Right. This is one of the images I shot with Mark and that we were at Mount Coot-tha Botanical Gardens. I just want to show people that some of the new features in Lightroom. Maybe a lot of people are aware that there was a new firmware update recently. It was about a week back now, I think, Mark. So this image is I already had sort of gave it a bit of editing. Not much to it. It's really basic. If you see what the original images was like, there were before. Hang on, what's going on here? There's before. You can see it was pretty brightly lit and so forth. And there's the after. So that's my little bit of editing done on that. But if you look down in the tone curves,
Yeah.
that's one of the very first things that you'll notice in this, what do you call it, the tool panels, right through here. So the thing that's changed is these little greens. You got a white circle, red circle, green, blue, and then you got your normal cone feature here, curve feature.
Yeah.
If you go to say if you go in the red channel, and you'll see the first thing that comes up, it's all red up this top corner, left top corner, and then down below it's got the opposite color, which is green. And then we got the green, which is the same thing, green up the top, and then it's got magenta down the bottom. You go in the blues, you got the blue up the top, then you got the yellow down here. Now, this is the global sort of thing, what actually happens into the image. So if you pull, let's put on this here. If I grab this little icon here and I just find,
So it affects the whole image, whatever you do.
Yeah,
in that,
it will.
In the
So
tone curve.
as you see, when I put my cursor, it's pointing over there on the screen,
Yeah.
like in the highlight, shadows, dark, whatever. So if I just go in the highlight there, and if I pull down, which I'm going to about to do now, and pull that down, and you see everything starts to go yellow, and that's in the highlights, that particular area. If I pull back up, oh, hang on, I'll reset that.
Ooh, you put a lot of color in that.
Oh,
It's looking good.
and if you, I pull that up here, and
Yep.
you'll see all the blues go up. So that's exaggerating, but that's
Yeah.
what these three do. You can pull whatever at the range of the midtones, darks, whatever, the highlights, and you can change the global settings of that particular color.
Right.
So if you want to reset that, you just double click it, and then she'll go back to your normal. And then this white one is another one. I haven't. This is the linear. This is the original one that LR had originally. And you just do a bit of an S curve, pull down on the black. Where's the usually I'll get rid of that, and you usually get the highlight and put a bit of S curve.
Right.
Yeah.
So wherever you grab that curve,
Yep.
it's going to affect different colors and
Yeah.
it's different tone ranges in
Oh
the actual
well, this
image.
one, this is just your normal curves. This is like pretty much like your the contrast and your highlights.
Yeah.
This one here. This one here, I'll click over now.
So this tone curve is actually like from left to right. Is left dark, the dark area, and the right hand side of the box is brighter area.
Yeah, if you see down here, it says dark in the middle.
Yep.
Shadows, highlights. But that's the other one. This is the U one. Yeah, I haven't really played with this much, but anyhow, that's pretty much that's the U one.
Yep.
Well, it actually
And
looks.
what else is new there, Brett? Have we got?
But
something
anyhow,
else?
I'll drop down to here, and instead of a lot of people will be in this particular mode, in this here. They'll either be
HSL.
Yeah, HSL. They either bring that up and and you just swap over. I like to come into the color and just go in, and then you can have all your
guys, listen to this. This is important. Like when you actually get the colors up, click on color, and you get a full drop down list of all the colors. Very, very good to actually work with.
Yeah. See, I like to work down, and I don't want to be hiding. If you look at the top here, I can move that and drop that down. A lot of people just go through the whole thing and they open each one of these up and close it down. automatically. I don't.
Riz is just saying she's dabbled with it, but
Yeah.
tends to leave it be and stay with the slides. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
it's I mean, it opens up a new world when you actually just stretch your horizons a bit and actually try and work with these colors, etc. Like if you, I was talking with Brett about a bird picture a while back, and we were looking at it, and because it was blending in too much with the background, I ended up sucking all the greens out of the background, so we actually moved the green slider all the way off. And it just changed the picture altogether, and it brought the bird to the foreground of, made the bird the hero instead of the actual. So you could do the same thing here, Red. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah. And up the top, if you look, this is just standard here, all this here. But if you look at the top, you get all these different rings of colours. So if you not the sort of person that want to see all this, but you really want to concentrate on one colour. So if I go to the greens, and you'll see now, I clicked on it, and it's just brought up the hue, saturation, and the luminance of the green.
Yeah.
So, and then I can just play with the hues, the luminance, make it darker, or I can brighten it up, or I can actually change it to more yellow by or greener. So you get an idea.
Just show everyone the greens when you suck all the color out of it, like slide the saturation all the way to the left, and just show people what it actually looks like.
Before I do that, if you done something and you go, well, I don't like that at all, I don't want to use the huge color, instead of trying to slide it back to 0, double click on it, and then it'll go back straight back to 0.
Yep.
Okay, so if you slide the saturation down, and that's what happens, you'll see all the greens don't quite go down, and you'll see there's still a lot of yellows, which is actually part of the green luminance and so forth. Yeah, so bring that back up.
It just makes the flowers, the oranges and all that, more the hero rather than the greens, and it gets washed out a little bit.
You can almost call it selected color. So you're just picking. That's what it is. You're picking on one certain color. So any of these ones here, you'll bring. You click on it and you'll bring up just the flea. But for me, if you want the whole lot, this rainbow color on the end, I'll click on that, and that gives you the whole lot. So, okay. Everybody knows about the split toning. I did a bit of split toning on this before, and I just wanted to show you what the split toning. If anybody doesn't know what split toning means, if I turn it on and you watch the color change, and didn't change that much, but I did a bit of selective. So up the top here, you've got the highlights. Down the bottom, you've got the shadows. So any of these colors that you go through here on this slider, I'll change it to show you what it does. So you press Alt and hold on the slider, and then you can change the color. And as you change the color, you'll see it. And this is for the highlights. So you just got to remember, you pick a color that you want for the highlights only. And then you leave it like that. Same thing with the shadows. Hold down Alt.
Yeah.
And then you move the slider until you see. Oh, hang on. Wrong here. And then you move the slider, and you'll start to see the shadows change in the color. So I was picking a bit of a blue in there. And then this section. And the saturating is when you're increasing the saturation of that color that you picked. And you do the same thing for the shadows. And if you find that you want more of the color of the highlights to come through, this balance bar here, if you slide that forward, it'll pick more of the highlights over the shadows. So if you slide it less, it'll go the opposite way. It'll pick more of the shadow color and then the highlights. So that's your balance there. But that
Chris just said you're being attacked by a color vampire.
I'm just doing everything over exaggerated so you can actually see what it's doing.
Yeah.
Be
mindful. That's what we do, and that's what we recommend as well. Like when you actually want to try out new sliders, slide them all the way over to the right or to the left to see the extremes of what actually happens.
Yep. Now, that's pretty much the stand. It's always been there, that tongue split. I often use that quite often. But now we've got another new feature. If I go to up to my brush, adjustment brush up here, click on that. And now you'll start to see there's a new feature in here called Hue. And it's got a fine adjustment thing underneath it. So this is where we can actually target, make a mask on something and actually target one thing. So in here, this little flower here, if I pull this up.
Yeah, that's good. How we can actually isolate areas in the image.
Yeah. Now, what I explained to you before, that was a global thing that happens right throughout the image. Now we're going to do selective. We're going to actually mask out flower here, and I'm going to call it color. And if I turn on, I'll just make sure my intensity is all the way up and my flow is all the way up, just to exaggerate so you can see what's going on. I might even just turn the feather up just a bit, and I'll make the brush a bit wider, and I'll go over the flower that I want, and I'm just doing it roughly. I'm not being critical about it, and probably just make the brush a bit small and go up towards the tips. Now, if you're not quite sure where you've been, you press O, and this will give you your mask. It's going to take a while.
It will expose the color of the masking and all the area of the masking. How you going, Jason? Jason hasn't come into the room. Good to see you, Jason. We'll hear from you.
Actually, the mask is not shown. This is one of the glitches that I have with Lightroom. But anyhow, now that it's done, I've actually had it masked out. So I'm going to come over here to the hue, and then I'm going to change it. If I slide it over, you'll start to see it'll actually change colors. And because I did a mask, it did a selected mask. I only saw the color that I picked on, that I was masking over, and it knows that's the color I want to change. So you can move the hue over, and you can change it all different colors of rainbow. So that's another way. That's the new feature what they've done now.
That's great how you can actually just isolate colors and swap them out like that. With the hue.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be a very powerful tool. I mean, we used to have to do this in Photoshop.
Yeah.
This wasn't possible until now with Lightroom.
Yeah, and you saw how much I moved the slider, how quickly it changed. If you didn't want to, double click on that so it goes back to center, and we can use click on use fine adjustment. So instead of changing dramatically, this now will be much finer. If we click on there, if Lightroom will let me. This is the trouble I have with I'm warning you now that Lightroom has a few glitches in this firmware update.
So what other features have we got here that we don't know of in the new update? Right.
Well, so far that's all I've seen. All the other ones are related to catalogs, faster speed, and but these is the ones that I think a lot of people have been waiting for this selective coloring, so forth. I mean, even if you're here, I can actually just go in the saturation and just brighten that, put more saturation into this one here by itself. You can do anything in this whole panel while that's masked out. And yeah, and if you don't want the mask, just go up here and delete it, and then you just go out of that, back to your global settings. But that's just something I want to show you. And I think, and while I'm in here, by the way, too, guys, if you come down to your lens collection, a lot of people I'm finding making a lot of mistakes here when they're loading their images up into Lightroom. A lot of people will have their lens correction actually applied to the image before it leaves the camera. And the way to work that out, if you look in the lens correction panel, you'll see down below in the right left-hand corner, it's got an eye, and it says built-in lens profile applied. When you see that come up on the bottom of that box, you know that the lens correction has already been applied.
Yep.
When you have loaded your images to Lightroom.
Yeah, just remember, guys, on the bottom of that box, it actually says built-in lens correction being applied.
Yep.
If it tells you that, then
you got
doing
your
another
camera
lens correction on top of it is not good.
Yeah, that means your camera's already, you got your camera set up to automatically do that and carry in the information of the image when you go to load and Lightroom sees it. So
Yeah.
I
Otherwise,
turn
you're
that
double
off.
layering.
Yeah. So I come up here. When I see this come up, I know it's already been applied. And you come back in, turn that off, right? And now you see the venue. And if you do like, look, there's no right, wrong way doing. If you like it better on, the sort of difference there that it changed, you've got darker.
Yeah.
That's just the natural, yeah. But when you're doing it again, you're actually applying another. So if I click on again, what actually happens? You're applying again. See how it's gotten brighter? It's removing the more of the vignetting and all that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The image hasn't really changed. So
Yeah, just because the tick boxes are not ticked, it doesn't mean that it's not applied. So just make sure you can actually read that one line down the bottom and make sure that it's already applied. Hey, Daniel Ockelman has come into the show.
Yeah.
How's everything going, Daniel?
But just saying that the reason why I bought that, it's not a new feature. It's always been in Lightroom. But the reason why I'm saying that, I've seen so many people, other people that I know, people that should know about it. I'm not mentioning any names, but they're not aware of it actually. But they might like the look of applying that again.
Yeah.
You know, so. But I just thought I'd let everybody know that. So.
I'm just wondering. There were some people in the group that were talking about that their images are coming up dark when they export. Maybe they're doing a double layer of that as well. So it's always worthwhile checking that.
It could be, as far as
Maybe,
I know.
I don't know. We are sort of in the background. Brett and I have been talking a lot about. People that are exporting the images, and the images are coming up dark in the Facebook groups. So we are still trying to sort that out, or trying to help any way we can.
I think one of the reasons is that if people playing with their brightness of their screen, if you brighten your screen way too much where it should be, and you're editing while you're editing, and it might look alright on that screen at the time, and if you're brightening it up, and when you go to export it, and it'll come out darker. So
I'm just seeing Sharon is saying, no, I don't use lens correction, I have it set in camera. Well, if you have got it set in camera, then you've got to disable it in in Lightroom, but are we talking about the same lens correction there, Sharon?
Because I noticed every time I bring up another image, that Lightroom will enable that profile correction always.
Yeah.
Regardless what it says down here.
Yes.
And I'm always forever turning it off. It's a pet peeve of mine, and I don't know why. I think automatically by default, if the Lightroom has realized it's already been applied in camera, it should automatically just turn that off. And if you want to turn it on and you like the looks of it, that's up to you. I mean, it's just one of those things that I don't use
it's really
much
strange.
at all. But in regards to people getting dark images and that, I think it comes down to either the calibration of your monitor is not at its best, at its performance where it should be.
The way Adobe was talking about this update, it sounded very much like it was a major update. But it just doesn't seem to be a major update in my mind. There was some improvements, but I would not say that it's a major update.
Sharon said, I think my problem was my screen was set to 100 brightness on my laptop, and I don't know. This is why, why I was adding for that. The lens questions, look, if your monitor should never be set to 100 in the brightness, because it will be giving you a false sense of how your image was actually shot in camera. It'll just get brighter and brighter. It'll be like me coming in here. Say if I go into this panel here, curve tone, and I bring up the lights, and I got to turn that up, and all of a sudden everything starts to get bright, and then you can start to see the reds. The red warning lights coming in here and the flowers and stuff.
You can actually see the So you can actually get peaking to happen you can switch it on and off. So if it's too dark, it will go blue. Is that right? And if it's too bright, it will be red. So that can be switched on off.
But if don't know if anybody can see this, but I did post it in the group about
microphone. Microphone, Brett.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
I had to move my head. I posted in the group about a video from Jody Brady, an American guy, that he talks about color grading and it actually talks more about color grading itself, but then he talks about the actual calibration, which actually helps getting your brightness level on the screen where it should be. So and this is that device I'm talking about here. So I
mean, it's not a cheap device to actually be able to do all this. It comes with its own software, and you basically, that device gets put up against your screen. Doesn't matter what screen you've got, you can actually do that adjustment then, which helps a fair bit. And it also doesn't just do brightness; it also does colors as well. So and contrast, etc. All that gets adjusted. There are monitors out that come factory calibrated already. Like I've got an Asus curved screen that's it's calibrated by the manufacturer, and you've got one, Brett, that's the bank, is it? B&Q?
No, I got the LG.
Oh, you got the LG, yes. So guys, I mean, if you want to do some research into it and see what's out there, but usually if you get editing capable monitors, they are, well, they're not cheap, but you'll get quality out of it, and you'll actually see your images properly then.
Yeah.
Are you finished here with Lightroom,
Yes,
Brett? I'll switch us back over into our screen. Okay, guys. So,
stop sharing.
so there you go. Yeah, I just kicked you out of a share, that's all. Okay, so what is everyone thinking about this little bit of an intro to Lightroom, to the update? So Sharon is still talking about, she's got it turned down to 60%. This is, it could be that you've got an older version of MacBook. I'm not sure what year MacBook you've got there, Sharon, but just, we're still scratching our heads. Yeah, we don't know what that is exactly. But it seems like the 60% down has actually improved the images.
Yeah. Yeah.
Allows your head cold, says Sharon. So
And don't forget too, your screen brightness is really due to the lighting that in your office. It's fine for people that businesses, that they might turn their screens up because they can. But when it comes to photography and you're dealing with editing videos or images, there's a certain brightness and.
I'm just seeing Daniel's reply here. I go for screen space over quality. Yeah, we know that. We know that, Daniel.
Yeah, but look, I mean, guys, if you want to be critical about color and calibration and all that, that's the way to go. But a lot of people are just happy to what they got, and But the problem is, if you start playing with that brightness in your screen, that's where you're going to start to see problems happen.
I mean, usually it's good before you actually post images, just maybe send that over to your mobile phone or even your iPad or tablet or second computer and have a look at it on that display as well to see if it looks good on that as well, because everyone uses different computers, etc. And I've seen some good computers and I've seen some really bad computers, and they were looking at my pictures going, "Oh, a bit dark," and so they actually didn't see it in the fullest glory. So you can't expect everyone to have up-to-date and newest displays. So it's a problem.
Yeah. Lauren said that she has 3 monitors with different quality and brightness. Yeah. Now, I naturally got 2. I got the photo you saw me in Lightroom. That's on my extended monitor on my 4K 27 inch.
Yeah, I'm not quite getting it because she's got a 2019 laptop, so you shouldn't have to turn that down. That laptop. I would highly recommend you actually get in contact with Apple and maybe take that into the Genius Bar and let them have a look at it, because there's something is not right. Something is not adding up in my head there about that.
You just got to be aware, guys, when you start putting external monitors and you're going to one external monitor and then another one besides your laptop or your desktop, all your screens are going to be different, and they're going to be different brightness, different colors, and that's more a reason why, especially when it comes to video or photography, you need to calibrate all of them. So the calibration will get not 100% right, but it will get 98% right, as much as it can from monitor to monitor.
As Jason is just saying now, I find that if I edit on my Mac and transfer to my iPhone, no issues. But if I go from the Mac and transfer to an Android, the colors look different. So it's, as I said, you're never going to get color corrtiveness for every user out there. It's not going to work.
That's correct. Yeah. The idea with calibration is when you have you got your screen or screens calibrated, and you're doing printing. It's vital. You need to see what you're seeing on the screen is correct, because when you do your final posting, editing, exporting, you want that to be correct what you see on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we always go for calibrated screens and monitors, even if it's factory calibrated, and you know, like, I mean, you will cover maybe 80% of the population that are actually looking at your pictures.
Yeah, yeah. But that, like Jason said, he's finding, you know, he's seeing different color versions on different devices. That's always going to happen. We can't make that.
Here's Daniel, you know, like he's got 5 screens connected
to
his computer. Now there you go. You know, he's got an external GPU, eGPU, so an external display card in a box, and he's connected up all his monitors to it.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
give it some. Yeah, it's amazing that you can actually do that with, you know, it's on a MacBook Pro, on one MacBook. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's out there. It's possible, guys. I mean, at the moment, I've got a major display here, which is a 38-inch curved display, and I've got a 48-inch TV screen that is my secondary screen for just checking what's happening on the monitor. And then I've got my MacBook sitting here next to me that's actually checking up on what's happening on YouTube. And I'm trying to keep it all down to a minimum.
Yeah.
But not 5 screens, Daniel. My God. But I think Daniel's got he's got 3 websites to take care of at one time. So yeah, pretty busy. Sharon says it's not an Apple. It's not Apple? Oh, now I know what your problem is. We just worked it out. Almost done adding a Stream Deck for control, I think. Yeah, you need a Stream Deck. That sounds good. A Stream Deck is just a box with buttons on it, and you can actually change what the buttons can do. And that's how you control your screens and what you are sending out, your video, and does all sorts of stuff. It's made by Elgato. Okay, so I have got a little, well, speaking of computers, everyone has probably by now heard that Apple is getting themselves ready to push out a new generation computer, or new generation computer internals, like new iMacs and new laptops. And we know that the iPad Pro, for instance, has become really fast and amazingly great for video editing and doing all sorts of stuff, thanks to their chip, their CPU that they're using in those iPads. Now, I did a bit of research because I wanted to know what all these words were that Apple was throwing around in their keynote. And they were talking about the, you know, they were using Big Sur, and that was a word that I didn't know about. They were talking about ARM, ARM. I didn't know what ARM meant, and so I basically had to do a bit of research before the show just to make sure that I actually knew what I was talking about. And I thought, well, it's probably the case for everyone else that's sort of scratching their head and going, what are they on about? What are we getting? And I just thought I basically scratched together a slideshow for you guys, and if you have a careful listen to it, it explains fairly well, I guess. I'm hoping of what is what, okay? And I'm sort of just trying to break it down for a beginner to understand what Apple is actually creating here and what's happening. Okay, so I'm just going to switch that on, okay, and have a listen to this. So we'll catch you on the rebound. So we have now new Apple computers and software coming. Let's break it down. So what is Apple Silicone? Well, Apple Silicone is a processor made by Apple. Apple Silicone is a processor of the ARM named processor family. Apple has already stated that the Apple Silicone ARM processor will arrive called the A12Z chip. So ARM is the family, Apple Silicone is the child, and hence A12Z is the child's name. The first Mac to have this child will be in a Mac Mini and then in other Macs. Why is Apple Silicone interesting? Well, ARM already exists in the latest iPads. Integration with the same ARM family will simplify communication between platforms like iPhone, iWatch, iPad, and Macs. ARM processors seem to have low heat generation and are a smaller form factor due to not needing heatsinks. Latest iPads are already a telltale of the ARM processor's speed and low battery requirement. The new generation will attract gamers as they will receive much more support via graphics and general speed. Form factor of the new Mac units should be dramatically reduced, including bezel sizes on iMacs. So with that said, I'll give you back to Mark and Brett into the show. Thank you. So there, I hope that makes it a little bit clearer. It's so basically we are dealing with the big talk is the new chipset, the new CPU that actually will go into Mac computers, and that Apple Macintosh has decided to move away from Intel chipsets. So there you go. If anyone's got any questions, just feel free to ask. I'm just scrolling down, and as I was saying, I have both Lightroom 2015 and Photoshop 2015. Can't afford to subscribe to the modern versions, but my version of Lightroom won't read ARW files from my A7 III, but my copy of PS does read them. Yes. So it's just one of those things where if you discontinue updating, they will not update your raw files, your raw reader, so your bridge is not going to be working.
So
but it's interesting that Photoshop still works.
Yeah. As you not described that he's obviously using a license, older generation.
Yeah, he bought it outright, or owns it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not on this platform that we are on at the moment. So I have no choice but to use Photoshop only. Pity, as I'd love to use and learn Lightroom. Yeah, we can't help you, as I would. In the same boat, we have to pay for it, and they've gone away from outright purchase. You have to pay per month.
Yeah, it's the same with Capture One. I don't think Luminar is the only one that you don't need to pay by monthly in that, I think. Is that right, Mark? Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure what the actual tier system is with Adobe. It is probably just worthwhile having a look at their website and just seeing what is out there and what is available and at what cost, etc., and what you can do. And Sharon said, I'll just get one of my grandkids to work it out. Probably easier. Just shove it onto the newer generation and they can fix it for you, no problems. It'll probably just take them 5 minutes and going, oh, I told you what that is. This is, it's so easy. Look at this, quick,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing what kids know now, and how. But if even if your grandchildren don't know what it is, they'll probably just ring up their mates and they'll have an answer.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if not smart to tune for Apple iPhones, since there are so many. As a baseline, it's close to calibrated, and at least lots of people will see it. Yeah. Usually Mac does a fairly good job with their factory calibration on their monitors. So yeah, it's a mystery to us, Daniel.
Yeah, it's funny that, because as far as I understand, like this LG LP, I can't remember that. It's a calibrated panel, very high for tones and color and all that. But as far as I understand, even like your BenQ, your Ed Zone, much higher ones, but this one's pretty much on the high end too, but obviously being sold for a lot less. But when you get any of those monitors out of the box, straight out of the box, it's going to give you 99% accuracy, but they always tell you need to calibrate it to bring it up to 100%. So I'm not sure what the Mac does with their screens and stuff, but far as I'm aware, that all monitors need to be calibrated to get that 100% rating. Doesn't matter if it's just a standard. A standard screen is not going to give you 100% calibration.
Yeah.
But your IPCL panels, like one I got, you still got to be calibrated to give you 99% or 100. So yeah.
So Sharon is saying pause for coffee, LOL. So I'm just checking the on YouTube and making sure everything is running smoothly. But it's okay. It's just telling me I'm pushing a bit more bitrate because I'm streaming at 60p, so 1080 60p, and it's it's really telling me, gee, like I'm struggling here, guys. But it seems to be smooth. It looks smooth on the actual on my analysis screen on YouTube.
Yeah. So what's next on the list here, mate? Mark, we're going to do...
So what is Daniel here saying? He's sorry for speaking off topic. As a long-time computer watcher, developer since I was 14 for dollars, Apple move is big and all about control. Yes, it is a big move. I mean, we are talking about an operating system, like the software. That I don't know if you know. You probably don't know this, Brett, but the actual software version 10 has been out and about for the last 20 years now. So we're actually finally getting going up to version 11 now. So this is how good Apple has actually been. Keeping one version going for 20 years is quite a record.
Well, I'm behind Apple's because I'm PC, so it's a learning curve for me.
Yeah. Out with Intel, in with ARM chips. Yeah, exactly. And they I don't know if you saw that all in the slideshow there, Brett, but we always have a problem with Apple's warming up, getting hot. The chipset insides really get pushed, and we like I've got a Mac Mini here, and I can fry eggs on its top. So with ARM, apparently they run very cool. So and I don't even think they're going to have any fans in them. No fans and no heat sinks. So that's how good they are.
Yeah.
Okay, biggest point is in the end, Apple will make all parts, including screens, and become even more secret and unpredictable, which is a good thing. I don't know. I don't know what is good anymore. You know, like, I mean, look, I mean, we've given up a lot of information and a lot of power over the years to the internet, etc. So, you know, like, I don't know where this is going anyway. But look, it's all heading in that direction where you know, we have to give more and more money, more information, and just to get more out of the manufacturers. Lots of small mistakes, but ask away.
Welcome back, Jamie.
I think a silicon apple would be horrible to cook with. I've been paused and started again. Hate technology. Yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight, Sharon. I was having problems earlier on. I was telling Brett that the internet was playing a bit of a hiccup game, but I think it's because it is the start of school holidays here, so a lot of kids are at home and settling into the gameplays.
Yep. Yeah, I think
all the gamers are on tonight. But yeah, I'm noticing there's a bit of a drag on the actual on the internet, that's for sure. And it's bad timing that I went from 30p to 60p. But hey, you know,
can't change it now. We're right in the middle of the show, so yeah.
Well, you know, like I'm on the fiber optic network here as well, so you know, I still believe that Australian NBN is being throttled down, and we should be able to get a lot more speed out of our technology here. And it's been rolled out. I heard it's been rolled out about 99% now. So
okay, we're still behind the times of the American internet speed and UK. So
yeah, Sharon is saying she's having the same issue. I saw Lauren was actually restarting hers. So sorry guys. New CPU is a SoC. So it can have anything inside Apple wants. Apple is the biggest or the best designer at the moment. Hired thousands of best people. Yeah, I mean, they got the money.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that round building, Brett, that Apple has. It's one huge donut. I think they call it the donut or something. It's just amazing. Yeah, I'm getting it too. Looks like we are all Causey X watching now. Yeah, sorry guys. Let's hope this will be fixed up by next week. I'll probably drop it back down to 30p just for a smoother stream.
You probably won't be here, but anyway.
yeah, that's the question, you know. But I will notify people and let them know if the show is on next Sunday. I don't know. I might even do a remote show. You know, maybe from the Blue Mountains, maybe. I don't know. Haha, thanks anyway, guys. No worries.
As I was just saying, Mark and Brett, with your external monitors, are you guys running the Mac Minis, or are you running the HDMI from the MacBooks or PCs? Just asking. I'm interested in researching a new distant future setup. Well, I'm running PC on a laptop, and I'm just running my external monitor to DisplayPort, which is like it's another form of UC. Is that right, Mark? I think it is. So yeah. But I'm not sure what.
I can probably quickly show what I've got here. If I do this and switch it over. Sorry guys. Okay, so here you'll see this is my setup. So I've got the TV here. I've got a laptop here. You'll see that down the bottom, this thing here is the Atom Mini Pro, which actually, where you connect up your computer. Like these are the HDMI inputs in the back. So I've got free cameras running there at the moment. So I've got one here so I can actually show the menu display of a Sony camera. Then I've got a GoPro connected here that I'm actually moving around. And here, oh, it's probably too dark, but just here is my camera, my A7R4. And you'll see just down here is the Mac Mini, where I'm actually streaming everything from. That's the Mac Mini i3. It's a 2018 model, so it's more or less the current model. And then there is the Rodecaster Pro that actually handles all the microphones and the audio. So you can probably just see that all happening. So I hope that helps a little bit.
There you go. He's running all that on the Mac Mini Pro.
Yeah, all that in that. Everything goes to this little box here. It's just under the screen. I can't sort of show you, but everything, all these boxes here, they all lead to that unit there. It's quite incredible what that little thing can do nowadays. You know. So I'll just switch it back over.
And while I'm live streaming to him, so at the same time.
Yeah. I'm just going to leave it hanging there. It's actually dangling now, that GoPro. Hope that helps you a little bit, Azza.
And on my
Daniel
side,
says, watch Steve Jobs having a funeral, OS 9. It's one of the best demos.
And my side, it's just all very simple. I don't have any of that. All of this got the interfaces running the microphone into USB into my laptop, and that's just about it.
Yeah.
Simple.
Well, it's just basically what is happening is that Brett streams into my show, and I stream it up to YouTube.
Yep. He's running the whole show.
I wouldn't say that. It's a shit show. Running a shit show. Okay, so
I'm just a guest. Right.
Yeah, we've got too many toys here, Sharon.
we are getting on over an hour, mate.
Look, I'm gonna move on, guys, with the news and everything else that I actually promised people that I would talk about. Okay, anyone else watch the keynote? Okay, so Daniel says watch the keynote. Oh, sorry. So say watch a keynote, some cool video work on that Apple keynote. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they, if no one has seen the latest Apple keynote, go and fish it out and have a look at it. It's the video work is really good, very polished.
Yep.
Can we have some more critiques next week? Yeah, like I was waiting for people to send some images in, but it was sort of like it fell on deaf ears, I guess.
Yeah.
And Lauren says that she Lauren, and you were the only one that put up a picture, so we decided to we'll hold on to that picture, and we'll definitely get to it. Hopefully in the next show that we'll do. So just hold on to it. It's an Astro shot, we know that.
Yeah.
OS 14. Yeah. So OS 14 is what the iPhone uses, and the iPad, etc. So that's two different operating systems. So it's an operating system for the computers and an operating system for their tablets and iPhones.
Okay, do we move on to the next story there, Mark?
Olympus? God, there's a lot of conversation going on here.
Yep. Well,
okay, great, guys. Okay, I'm going to move on. So let's get into the news. Okay, now the elephant in the room. Let's talk about this one. Okay, so does anyone know what we're talking about here? Okay. Now, sadly, and it's been it's been everywhere. This story has been everywhere. That Olympus has basically is moving away from camera production and has moved the cordon on to another company. When you look at other companies like Kodak is still around, don't get me wrong, so I'm not saying that they're dead, but we are not really seeing any camera production from them. Polaroid is gone. It's just one of those sad things where stuff like this happens. Now I'm just going to stick to the facts, and this is an extract directly from a press release from Olympus themselves. And in that, what I found interesting is that red part there, and I can blow this up, and I can just quickly read this out, guys. Olympus has implemented measure to cope with the extremely severe digital camera market due to, amongst other things, rapid market shrink caused by the evolution of smartphones. So they're blaming the smartphones there, Brett. And I can sort of understand that. You just have to go to music concerts and all that. It's COVID at the moment, but once all this is over, everyone is holding a phone up, not a camera anymore. So Olympus has improved the cost structure by restructuring the manufacturing bases and focusing on high value-added interchangeable lenses, aiming to rectify the earning structure to those that may continue generating profit even as sales dwindles. Despite all such efforts, Olympus's imaging business recorded operating losses of 3 consecutive fiscal years up to the term ended in March 2020. So they're citing huge losses in over 3 years, and they are basically just sticking all the blame on reduction in sales due to the smartphone market.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now
it's interesting in it, really, because I think they're pretty much right about the smartphone. I've got to point out, isn't it amazing if you go to a concert and you're not allowed to take a full frame or a DSLR or a professional camera to a concert, but you can be standing
don't get me wrong.
with a phone.
Don't get us wrong, guys. Olympus cameras were or still are. They're still out there for sale. Sorry about that. And they're great cameras, but they just couldn't compete with what other camera manufacturers are putting out there, and it's just it's a shame. But okay, so I just want to flash this one up. Sorry, where's this other one? Okay, so here we are. So former manufacturers of cameras, here's a list of all the ones that don't exist anymore. So we've got Agfa. There are other smaller companies, Ilford, Konica, these all springing to mind. They're Brett, Polaroid, So these are all just, they've all gone. And,
they're missing out one. They're missing out Minolta.
Konica Minolta, but there's Konica there. There is Konica.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. Kinda. Yeah.
But Konica got picked up by. Thankfully, Konica got picked up by Sony, and then Sony further developed it and into something that we've got nowadays. Yep. So, okay, I'm just going to do an unbiased plug again, Brett, and we're just going to go into workshops. And guys, you got to forgive us, but we do want to plug ourselves a little bit here as well. We do do workshops, and you got to bear with us because of the COVID virus. We haven't really brought up anything, but we do offer one-on-one workshops. If you do contact us right now, we are available, and we can actually give you a cost structure of that if you ring us up one-on-one. Is that right, Brett? That's what you would do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Been looking to do this for a fair while yet.
Exactly.
So, but as well as the normal workshops and that we will plan to do later on in years. So yeah.
Now, okay, so I'm just gonna go to the next one. Well, yeah, let's go to the abandoned buildings. Oh my, sorry, my GoPro has just switched itself off. Now, with this, I would just this is a bit of a warning for everyone to maybe really consider what you are doing out there when you go and shoot. And this sort of hit home to me just the other day. There was a woman with her friend that went for a night walk apparently, and they wanted to stay in this bunker. It's actually a bunker, Brett. Wartime bunker. And from what I understand, everything was fenced off, and there was no go area to this bunker, and yet they ended up there for some reason, and one of the women actually got killed by some falling debris, some concrete or something like that fell on her head and killed her instantly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So this is very unfortunate, and this happened in Sydney. And it's just one of those things where you got to really, guys, think about what you're doing. Now with that, just 1 second. Okay, I want to give some suggestions about this. Now, when you before you go to something like this, ask for permission. Never enter a building without permission or knowing it is open to the public. It just makes just these common sense things. Then there is, you always pack your protection. Do you have liability cover? And I'm talking about a shoot, like a typical photo shoot. If you've got an assistant with you, or you're doing a workshop, or you got a talent with you, etc. I mean, if something happens to them in your care, you are liable. So just be very careful about this. Obviously, you would want to carry a first aid kit and no first aid. And you also do a discussion with your collaboration and explain to them all the dangers that you think are present, and they might even know of other items that are a problem. One informed and reliable person about, so you inform someone that is not going about where you are going to be and when you would be back, and you would give them a phone call that you are back. It's just a safety that if you don't dial in, if you don't say anything to them, they will actually alarm the authorities. And it can also, like, you should scout. What did I say? Scout it. Okay, scout in daylight if you're going first up. If you're going there at night for a night shoot, so check it out in daytime before you go there, and always wear protective clothing, etc. And then you've got to know the dangers: rotten floorboards, nails, rusted nails, falling objects from above, fire hazards, poisonous creatures, and gases, etc. For the people that don't know, I spend a lot of time working in the mechanical industry and worked in mines. So we were basically, we were made very aware of hazards on workspaces. Don't steal souvenirs. So whatever there is, I mean, don't break stuff out of a building and think that you can just take it with you. You know, it's not cool and it's not good. And also, you could always consider joining a group or a tour guide maybe that goes to these places. And just remember that many heads make light work and contribute to safety. Don't wait too long. So that means also don't think that a building is still exactly in the same way you've seen it, say, 2 years ago. And there are changes structurally and also access-wise. So just be very current about the condition of the building, etc., and ownership and access permissions. Just accept that some places are just off limits, and if you can't go there, and if I tell you not to go there, then like cross that off your list and just move on and find another place to go to. Okay, so these are just the warnings that we are putting out there, and we are always very aware about that. When Brett is doing photo walks, he's very aware. Now with the COVID virus out there, also we're always considering what is right and what is wrong, and what the health measures are that the government is putting out there. So we're always getting advisories about it.
Yeah. And
was there anything else that you wanted to maybe mention there?
Yeah, well, actually, who was it? Bill mentioned about train tracks. Now, train tracks is definitely a no-go zone here in Australia. Don't ever do.
If it's a dead train track, if it's a non-functional train track that you 100% know it's a dead train track, then it's okay. But again, you need to have access permissions. Yeah.
I've known personally, people I've known personally have been fined being on live train tracks doing photos. It's definitely no go, and in general too. A lot of the other Facebook groups are the portraiture that I also moderate. We do not show and allow train tracks unless they are from a known train track that's no longer in use, and you can generally tell if the train tracks are shiny, they're being used.
Yep.
So if you see ones that are not shiny, you generally tell, yes, that's an old historic one.
Don't become a superhero, guys. That's what we're trying to say. Like, I mean, we're, hearing a useless deaf has happened because people's are not there's a young woman's deaf just down the drain.
Yep. Yeah.
And Daniel's saying he's a walking, talking medical cabinet.
Yeah.
Moving medical supply when I travel, says.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
And what Mark's all said, that's generally a lot of the things that you got to be wary about. And like
I mean, it took me a while to actually throw all this together, guys, and I hope everyone sort of can
especially
see
that
I take these things very serious. I've seen too many deaths in the mines, and I've had friends of mine dying in front of me. So it's not a good thing.
I'll just take it a bit further too, especially if you're going anywhere near cliffs where, it might be, a walk to the waterfall or something like that, and there's their cliffs. Places like, what was it? Just trying to think of the waterfalls down at, can't even think of it now. There's a waterfall down at Laming National Park, and it's got a drop of 400 meters. And I've seen people get down on the lower edge, and it's only about a meter to walk around. and there are slippery rocks. And I've seen kids, from a distance walking around on there as well. And there's no fence. There's nothing to stop you going off that edge.
I mean, if I go a lot down to the Blue Mountains, and there's a lot of unfenced area, and all what you've got is basically you're standing on rock, and it just goes down the cliff, So you there's no fencing, and I've got an image somewhere where I could actually show you that, but it's quite I mean, it's mind blowing that there's not more deaths, but it's just always worthwhile, just sort of like, if you think you're too close, you are definitely too close. You got to back off.
The price I was thinking
as I was saying about the $250 million giveaway, Brett. Maybe I should bring it up next.
Okay. And just before you do, the place I was thinking is Morgan Falls.
Morgan Falls, yeah. Yep. Okay, so before I do that, Azza, I'm gonna go to our YouTubers. We've got a few YouTubers that we want to talk about, and just giving people an idea of what we are watching. Now, Brett has got a few, and I've got a few. I'm not sure. Do you want to start, Brett?
Yes, I'm going to put the first one up. Here's a guy that I'm not going to show on the screen, but I'll just drop the link down.
I'll go back to us. I was just going to share your screen there.
But anyhow, look, I mean, what was I going to say? The first guy I was going to say, Adam Gibbs. Now, Adam Gibbs, I just put down the link down there in the comments. Here's one that I generally follow a lot. I never missed a show, and they call him Grumpy, Uncle Grumpy, and all that. And if you ever watched it, and
so he's a landscape photographer.
Yeah, he's a landscape photographer. He actually started off
I should almost say he's a tree photographer and a waterfall photographer.
Yeah. And he actually started off doing photography as flowers and gardens and stuff like that for a magazine, and ended up doing landscape and that. And he actually, I think he got the last 2 years, he's got photography of the year, photographer of the year.
Yeah, so got some sort of trophy.
Yeah, he's from Vancouver Island. So very good and very knowledgeable. And if you actually watch him, how he'll show you what he thinks and how he gets his shots and stuff like that. So that's really good.
Yeah, he's worthwhile watching. Who else have you got? Like, we will put the links underneath in the comment boxes in the next few. When I get a chance, I'll put it in the comment boxes.
Yeah, well, I'm putting them in there now as we speak. So,
okay, right.
The next guy is Peter Colson.
Peter Colson, yes.
Yep. Studio, fashion, free. He's everything. He shoots Hasselblads to Sony cameras and that as well. He does do a lot of fashion shoots for other clients and that, but is more renowned for his workshops in studio and location. He does travel around the world and that, and around Australia. So I've left the link there if you want to learn about portraits and fashion.
So Peter Colson is based down in Melbourne, and he's a fashion photographer.
Yep. And just one more, guys, out of my picks is Nick Page, American.
Nick Page?
Yep. Nick Page is American landscaper. Very good. Love his work too, and that waterfall, landscape too. And they all do videos. From time to time, you'll see Nick Page and Adam Gibbs and Father Clipper all getting together with who was the other one? Thomas Heaton. And
Thomas
they
Heaton
were
is
getting
another person to actually follow as well. Yeah. I mean, there's all landscape photographers I noticed there, Brett. So you got your love is in landscape photography, and also, same as me, fashion and studio photography with Peter Colson down in Melbourne.
But
and Daniel knows Thomas. Thomas is great, says Daniel.
Yep. And the other person I was going to put in to do a plug-in was Carl Photography in England. Daniel might heard of him as well. Carl Taylor Photography. So he's another good one to watch for studio and product photography and all that sort of thing.
I mean, if anyone else has got suggestions, just put them into the comment boxes, because I'm always happy to push fellow YouTubers because we're all in it to win it, I guess, and that they do after doing all these live shows. I mean, this is it's our anniversary. It's our 10th live show, Brett. So it's a lot of work. 10
really?
10. We're gonna light a candle. Yeah. So Daniel has got Albert Dross or Draws. His time lapses are amazing, and whereas the cake and beers. Once we hit 100,000 subscribers and we got I don't know 50 YouTubes under our belt. Like who knows what's going to happen. We're at the moment just doing this for fun and enjoyment.
While we sort of doing this too, Sharon, congratulations to becoming another Benlo.
Actually, and the new baby as well. I didn't get a chance to congratulate Sharon. So it's just it's all good news all around with a Benro tripod, brand new Benro tripod. Oh my god, and the new lens, and oh my god, she's been really
getting into it. And by the way, I'll just drop a link to my review on the Benro tripod that Sharon purchased the other day. I did do a review on that tripod, so there's the link there if anybody wants to have a read of that particular tripod. And I actually did cleaned it for the first time the other day, Mark, too. So
a bit of a polish.
And I realised because it's such fine beach sand, it's gotten into the threads of your heart twist locking.
I mean, Australian sand. I'm telling you guys, Australian sand. I mean, that's why I was on about tramboning lenses. When we're talking about Tamron lenses, etc. And our sand on the beach is literal. Like, it's so fine silicon and so dusty, and it just, you only have to just lightly blow on it, and it just vaporizes into the air. It's just incredible. So it gets into everything. So it got into your legs and in the Benro as well. So it's interesting. I mean, I gotta always pull my tripods apart.
It was more or less in the actual thread, and the thread's so fine on those half twist locks, and and you could hear the crunching and the grinding and when I unpulled it, and I had to pull this other little piece out that holds the next leg inside of it, and then I had to get an air blower and a little brush and get all that fine.
I told you about that issue that I had with my 24 to 70 GM, and that was it just it took me a while to get all the sand out of it, and it was crunching until I finally cleared it and then sold it. Okay, so but it's a great lens, don't get me wrong, guys. It's just that we've got the sand like in the Sahara.
Shannon said, "Yep, man, is selling stuff. Want a pony or?"
God, Lauren. You know that pony is going to cost you even afterwards. I mean, you got to buy all the carrots and everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But anyhow,
I really like the PD travel tripod. I don't care what others say. Oh, Peak Design. Yeah, it's... I mean, you've got that now, Daniel, haven't you? You know, so... I just don't know, because we got windy conditions here when we are out back. We need really stable tripods here in Australia. But I can understand if you need a travel tripod and you need something collapsible that you can quickly put up and take an image of. Yeah. They're travel tripods and they're tripods. I mean, like I've got here in the back, you can probably just see where my 200 and 600 is sitting on. That's actually a Gitzo tripod. And this Gitzo goes, I think it goes 7 foot up. And I bought that second hand about 3 years ago. And it's a beautiful tripod, the Gitzos, but it's also very expensive. So,
Okay.
Well, it's a travel tripod. It has its limits. Yeah. So I mean that's why we've got many tripods, right? Like I've got something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tripods, 6 or 7 tripods. So yeah, there's not one tripod that can do everything. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to move on now, Brett, to the... Okay, let's just do another plug. Here comes the unbridled plug again. Okay, so we have got Facebook groups, guys, and you'll see that Brett is the administrator and runs the Sony Alpha Brisbane group, which is a fantastic group, and it's actually had a growth spurt there, Brett. What are you on now? 400? Was it 400,000? 400,000 odd. So, but it's a growing group, and there's a steady stream of new people arriving as well. I'm the administrator of Photographers Collective. If no one has actually seen that yet, I'm probably just humping everyone's leg here right now, just basically telling people over and over again about these 2 Facebook groups. But sorry about that, guys, if I'm repeating myself too many times, but I'm just trying to drum it into everyone. It's also for the viewers that come in after the show and see the show in replay over in the States, etc. Now, Brett, this is the $250 million question. Where is all this money coming from? Now, this can't actually be won so much as it can be gained. Now, the Australian government has decided to give the arts a $250 million leg up. This includes, as you can read there, in the package, it's $50 million for screen production, $75 million for festivals, concerts and other events, and they will hand out grants between $75,000 and $2 million. We're talking about Australian dollars, obviously, which is great news. I mean, beforehand, I think there was the government were going to give, I think it was $25 million, and they revised it. After having a good old think, they decided to up the ante a little bit. The reason why I'm pointing this out is that there are great opportunities out there for us photographers now to actually get a bit of that back. Where so the arts are going to gear up, everything is going to start going into motion again, and they will be sooner or later looking for stills photographers or videographers to find these people that can actually do production work, etc., and this will be a bit of a leg up for us to actually earn some more money, or any money at all. So It's good to look into it and maybe get in contact with your local council or festival management. All these local companies that are dealing with these festivals, etc., and saying, "Hey, I'm a photographer. Here's my portfolio. I am available. Tick, tick, tick. Please keep me addressed, or keep me posted of what's going on, because these people will be looking for people that can get the shooting done, and a lot of people that were in the business and they were shooting, they might not be doing this anymore, and they might have moved on, and there is an opening for people that want to get into the photography scene. So do have a think about it. So the $250 million hook that I put in, the carrot that I put in, is a true blue. It's not just a carrot; it's actually available. Obviously, it's going to get broken down into sections. But think about wedding photography, which is part of. Can be part of this, and fashion photography, etc. So everyone can submit for this and can actually put in to get a grant. Yeah, Brett, and that's about at the end. Yeah.
No, we're not.
Okay, so I'm just gonna bring up my favorite YouTubers. I haven't done that yet. So. What did Sharon say? Get a grant for the Sony Walk to get to the Kimberley. There you go, Brett. We'll yeah.
Good.
And Brett
That'd
says
be nice.
Daniel. Yeah, it would be nice. And Daniel says extra money for the arts has to be done. Almost all is shut down for probably a year or more. Exactly, Daniel. And but we are. I mean, the government could have just turned around and said, "Well, we've got no money," but they are doing the promised money anyway. So let's hope it actually gets to the right people in need.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the art's been really, really suffering, really bad, from TV, actresses, everything, and right to us people too as well, photographers, wedding photographers, and portrait photographers, and then to the video side. So...
I mean, Riss is saying Whisper is some arts might not be back until next year, Brett. And yes, that can be, but I think there's going to be a lot of local artists that actually should benefit from this money. I'm not talking about worldwide artists. I'm talking about local artists, and that actually need our support. We're talking from anything from like even just the singer in the bar. We need to make sure that they get their fair share.
Yeah.
But it's a bit too early to really think about worldly stuff. I mean, we're talking about localized.
Right. So you need to do your plugins on who's your favorite people you follow on YouTube for photography.
Exactly. I haven't got anyone. No, really. I'm going to start up with now. My ones are a bit of a curveball. So I think Brett already knows all this, but. My first person of interest is Sean Tucker. Now, for the people that don't know Sean Tucker, he's been around for quite some time, and you can see he's got 392,000 subscribers. I don't really need to plug him because he's got more numbers than I could wish for. But he's also very good to listen to. He's a very good philosopher and of the arts, and he will give you a lot of new guidance and new ideas about which way to go. So do look him up. He's fantastic. Yeah, Sean Tucker, I will post all my URLs in the comment box, please, guys. So just bear with me. I can't really do that right now, but yeah. So he's my first contender. Then we have Mark Silber. For the guys that don't know Mark Silber, he does a lot of collaboration interviews, basically, with other photographers, etc., and tries to get the meaning of photography. He's very much on the same guideline, more or less, as Sean Tucker, because he's pushing people to delve into the deeper side of photography and giving people new ideas about which direction to head with their photography. So there's a lot of good information there, guys. So go and look him up. That's Mark Silber. And the third,
Mark,
yes,
I just put the link down for Sean Tucker in the group.
right,
So
yeah.
in the
So there's Sean
comments
Tucker.
down there.
Yeah,
Yep,
I will try and once I get a breather, I might even do that myself in a minute.
Yeah, I've already done
Sean Tucker, have a look at him, guys, after the show maybe. And then the last one is interesting because I would not say these people are related to essentially photography, but I want to give these guys a plug because they're fantastic. It's a young couple from Australia that sail the world. So they basically live on this catamaran and have just recently had a baby on this catamaran as well. So they are traveling the world, and I think they've circumnavigated all the oceans by now. So it's a very interesting and great stories coming from these guys. And yeah, if you look them up, just give them some love because they're Australians, and I think they're from Adelaide, from what I understand. And the ship, he bought the ship in France and went all the way to France and bought it in France. So these guys are just living the dream, for that a lot of people would like to do, and just go sailing to the Caribbeans and go snorkeling for food, etc. So you get to see all that in their show. So if something like that hits your interest, guys, and maybe have a look at that. And they're very captivating as well. Very charming couple. Yeah, so these are my three.
There you
Has
go.
anyone, if anyone else has got any more suggestions, please, feel free. And there's Mark Silber. Brett just put up Mark Silber's YouTube.com, and the other one is Selling La Vagabond, which is if you can put that up, Brett, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll just go from there, guys. And as you can see, like I'm a bit more of a curveball kind of person, so. I like listening to photographers with their inspirational ideas, but I try not to see too many shows where photographers go out and take pictures, and I get to see the pictures, and I take that in, and it somehow I get tied up in their work, and then I want to mimic, and then I start mimicking their work. So I'm trying to. I'm trying to separate that a little bit out of my life at the moment. Yeah, so there's the other one, the Sailing Vagabond that Brett just put up.
And Gerald Undone, he's pretty cool too. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
Mind him. Gerald Undone. He's not
Gerald
too bad,
Undone, yeah. But he's very technical. There's a lot of technical. His latest videos are very deep, so
Yeah.
it goes into setting up videography and pictures, color, LUTs and all that. So he goes through all this.
So we're running time here, Mark. Yeah, so we've
Yeah,
got a lot of time.
we're doing pretty
spare,
good.
so,
Okay, so
anybody in the
guys,
chat,
I'm just gonna.
ask
Yep.
questions. You know, if you got something that you want to know or ask and that, fire away.
Yeah, we're just doing this really on the cool side, guys. I mean, we've been sort of like, we're pushing more and more. Like every week, we go in there and there's another one, Hugh Brownstone. Daniel just said, but we're always looking for inspiration and more new information. I don't want to keep on repeating all the stuff that all the other YouTubers are talking about constantly, and we're always trying to find something new. I don't. If you want to talk about tech, etc., I mean, we're probably not as technically orientated here in the show, but we do sometimes break down certain things, like what Brett did with Lightroom, for instance. So we are flexible. That's for sure. Now I'm just going to bring up another video there, Brett, and this is we are still plugging this, and next month we're it's going to be another photo walk, guys. So here. So there you go, guys. So this is basically a preview of what's in store for us next month. So just hang in there. We're certainly going to do photo walks. So
yes, and just an update on the photo walk. I've done the submission. We are waiting until I hear back to it goes live.
Yeah, we can't say that it's going where it's going to be or what's happening until we or Brett gets it back from Sony, guys. That's why we're not saying giving out details exactly right now.
Yep. So be patient. It is going to happen. So yeah, but anyhow,
more competition fuel. Yes, rest. You know, like there's going to be images to be had. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
Jason.
Yes.
Jason is saying he's R4 noise and hit miss with focus. Now,
okay. I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to pass this on. But Daniel in the comment might have some guidance and some ideas for you there, Jason, because he's very technical, and he actually owns the A7R4. I own the A7R4.
And I've used it for a while too.
And I spoke with Brett about this, and because we know that you're having problems with it. Please come on our next photo walk, and we'll have a look at it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Jason,
we'll try and sort it out a bit.
Yeah, Jason, I'm not sure what focus mode you're on, and so forth. Yeah, and I had never really seen issue with the ISO problem, to what you've been saying and so forth. So
Jason needs the A9.
So we do need to know a bit more information on those settings and so forth, mate. So
yeah. So we'll just tag that onto our next photo walk, and we'll revisit that and have a chat with you about it.
Yeah.
Because you've been talking about this for a while now. We just want to get you sorted, mate.
And you'll find Daniel on his Sony full frame setup tips group.
Jason, join up with Daniel's Facebook group, Sony Full Frame Setup Tips, and maybe ask some questions there as well, because they are it's all about the full frame Sony cameras there on his Facebook group.
Yeah.
I'm getting left alone with the 09 teasing. No, you're not. Well, we're at it, Riz. Well, I did mention today about your photography. You could just, you could just really improve it a lot with the 09. Who knows? Not saying your pictures are bad. No, the great images. What I've been seeing. and
by the way, guys, give Mark's channel a like, and
give it some love. We need some some massaging and rubbing. And I think I don't know what's going on, but the YouTube, it takes a while for YouTube to sort of become this eruption of subscribers. But I would appreciate it a lot if you guys subscribe.
Because
did you see Mike's reply on your comment, Mark? No, I've been too busy to read everyone's comment in the Facebook groups, but I will definitely check it out, Riz, and I will reply in kind. You know me, I always reply. Okay, so now I don't know if everyone saw this, but I did a bit of a video. Like I went out to Wellington Point and fired off some video with my camera there, and this was just to put out a statement to people to remember that when you guys go out and take images and take pictures, pressing the video button is not too far away, and you can come back with some great footages, and if you compile them a little bit, and you can really make a good statement, and show people what you are capable of. Just remember that you have got a video camera in your hand as well, and it's very capable. Now I'm just gonna run the cloud surfing one, and okay, guys, so it looks like Brett has left us. Brett has left town. How you going, Brett? Hey, Brett.
Yo.
Okay, Daniel, thank you very much for watching. We're just coming to the end of the show anyway. So I hope everyone has been... Oh, look, what is that? Is that iced coffee?
Iced coffee. Yeah.
Iced coffee. Iced coffee, man. So I hope everyone has been having a great Sunday evening with us, and it's been, we're back on 2 hours right on the dot. How is that? And we hope, if anyone has got any criteria to anyone that wants to talk about hey, your show was, I wasn't happy about this part or that part, or could you please do this or that. We are completely open to listening to you guys and hearing what you are thinking about us.
Yeah.
So
I say this. We say this every time on the show. Look, if there's something that
yeah, show is over, Daniel. Yes, you can go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks very much for tuning in again, Daniel. Sorry, Brett. What were you saying?
You're right. But we do ask feedback on anybody that's watched during the live and after the live in recording. Yeah. Look, give us some suggestions, and and we'll see what we can do. It's not hard to type in and say, hey, I want to hear some more of this, or I want to see more of that, or see what we can do.
Yeah. Replace scroller with a fade in out makes it less smooth looking. Fade in out. I got to talk with you, Daniel. Okay, no worries. Wine ball is empty. Time for bed. Yeah, so it looks like everyone is getting ready for work again tomorrow, Brett. So the girls are getting up early, 5 a.m. I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So with that, I hope everyone enjoyed the show and no one got too bored about me raving on about safety and Apple and Brett doing Lightroom as well. So and what's this? What did Jason say here? One more before we hit the road. How do you get your name out there other than Instagram? Seems like everyone's a photographer these days, and I'm wanting to start getting more serious and over posting on Instagram. Well, it's simple, Jason. You are right now you are approaching people that are not your customers. They are just people, either fellow photographers or people that are bored looking at your images. It's not where you will find professional work or get any kind of momentum going. You need to do all the hard work. You need to go out there and create contacts and talk to people in the business, like knock on doors and make phone calls and talk to people about that you are a willing and able photographer and you've got blah 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 photography portfolio. Make sure that your portfolio that you give these people that you want to approach, make sure that the portfolio suits what they are all about, and just put yourself out there. Like that's the people that you want to approach. You don't want to necessarily approach people on Instagram or Facebook. That's not going to make your income. You've got to have an awareness on these platforms, yes, but the awareness is not going to give you money. Awareness comes from you knocking on doors and doing that hard slog work where you actually are approaching. If you want to do wedding photography or something like that, go to receptions, you got to create yourself a name, like hire models that actually are willing to do a photo shoot with you and all that, and take bridal images, for instance. There's just or if you want to shoot bands, music bands, wait until the COVID virus is over and then go out and shoot bands, and just get a name for yourself and build it up that way, and hit the market and show it off to customers that actually are willing to pay for your work. Also, the other trick is to photograph talents or people or images that have actually got logo work on it. So if you got, I don't really want to talk about other brands, but if you got like I don't know, if you got a Rode microphone that you got hanging around, and if that talent is actually holding a Rode microphone, these are product shots, and you can actually promote that to road and say, look, this is what I can do, would you like me to do some work with you, and that's how you can step in work. You got to show them what is possible with their product. They got to see that you will provide them with some kind of value. It's not the other way around. They don't want to hear from you how much you want from them, how much money you want from them. They want to know how much money they can make from you. So your product, your photography, you got to show them what is possible. Open their eyes.
Be prepared of lots of advertising and targeting the clients that you want. That's one major ways you're going to get there. But work out what you want to do and what work you're going to do, and advertise and target those particular people. It's gonna,
just shoot a lot of that, instead of just shooting cityscapes and having beautiful light flares and all that. That all looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, and it's cityscape photography and it's got a name. I totally understand that, but it's not marketable. Apart from if you want to bring out a calendar or if you want to write a book, but it's not marketable. It's not what the market actually wants, unless you actually are doing a travel issue where you actually are, going into the travel industry and shooting for a travel industry, etc. And you're showing off the city of Brisbane, but then they want certain images that actually promote Brisbane and they show off. It has to be iconic to Brisbane, or the Gold Coast where you are living, Jason, or wherever else you may go. But trust me, there's a lot of photographers out there that are actually doing that right now. They're actually trying to promote their business, and they're trying to, of course, they're trying to outclass everyone else. And so it's always a matter of pushing your quality of work, and always have that in the back of your head where you are. You're doing promotional work. If you want to, as a professional photographer, you got to be, you got to be on the ball. You got to think about that part of the photography, not so much about what looks beautiful on Instagram, what looks pleasing to others on Instagram. I don't care if you get 1,000 likes or or people writing there, I love that shot, or whatever, can you come and shoot me for free? That's not what that is all about. It's giving. It's a bit like a plumber where I can't turn around and say, to a plumber, you're doing great work, can you come over and I've got a stuck toilet there, do you want to fix that up for free? And they're going, you like my work, I'll come over there with a pump and everything, all my machinery and everything, and fix it up for you for free. That doesn't happen, and we are doing that as professional photographers. We should not be doing that, and give our work away for free.
Exactly right. If a lot of people are relying on Instagram for likes and features being shared by another page that is not even a photographer but showing somebody else's work, it's not going to pay the bills. It's not going to put money.
Yeah, it's
put food on the table. And
we've come to believe that a lot of new photographers that have come in, they always try those platforms. They always try Instagram. They always try Facebook, and always try and push their work that way. But there is no work that way.
No.
I've never got employed through Instagram or Facebook. It's a platform to show it off. Like if people that want to work with me on a professional basis, they might actually go into those platforms to see what I do, what I shoot, what I'm all about. But that's about it. They will never say like, or they will never never do a follow. They won't follow me or anything like that. And I've never seen Coca-Cola or any or Mercedes-Benz actually following other people, other photographers. It doesn't work that way. So you have to go out there and find your customers.
Anyhow, we're over 2 hours.
We've gone over time now. That's it. Thank you very much, Jason. But no, it was a very good question, and I'm happy to answer these questions. And right now it's finding work is a bit like hen's teeth. There's not much advertising, etc., going on, but there is still work out there, and if you knock on the right doors, you will probably get it as well if you try hard enough and you can prove to them how good you are.
And believe it or not, don't get me wrong, but word of mouth is still one of the best ways of getting work.
Yeah.
If you don't work from previous clients or weddings and that, and then they were really impressed with your services, and not just talking about the images and what you supply, but if your service is really, really, really up there and providing a service, and people will talk word of mouth over anything else. So
yeah. Or what you have to do is just believe in yourself, and build. See, in a time of virus, you build up your portfolio, and you actually learn new skills. Like I'm upscaling myself into video work, etc. And so it's just one of those things where if you've got time on your hands, you're still working, and video. Being a photographer, a professional photographer, is hard slog because you're never off. It's your business. That goes for anyone's business. I've had a lot of businesses in my life, and if you never turn off. You work Saturdays, Sundays, you work 12 hours, 14 hours, 15, whatever it takes to get the jobs done, and then some. You got to do. Look, photography is 20% taking photos, and the rest is all marketing. It's about paperwork and accounting and thinking up new ideas and testing. So don't think that it's just this glorious stroll in the hay. It's fantastic. It's a lot of hard work.
Anyhow,
had a shower and you're still here. I don't know about your showers, Daniel, but I love having nice long ones. Yeah. Okay, Daniel, we're gonna rest you up now, and we want people to come back. We don't want to make it sour, and hopefully we'll be back very soon. Whether or not we're going to be doing it next weekend is next Sunday is still questionable, but we'll try, guys. Okay.
Yep.
What's this? Need this Mickey Mouse one. Sharon recommended. Okay, laters, as Daniel says. See you all later, and have a good night, guys. And
bye from me, and it's bye from him.
Bye from us all.
Take care. Keep on shooting.
Okay. I'm going to have a drink now, so there you go.